Hi there, my name is Rachel and I want to welcome you to Mums at the Table. Hopefully this is an episode for you that's going to spark some joy. Joining me today are Julie.
Hi.
Rachel.
Hi.
And Fiona. Hi. How are you ladies feeling today?
Feeling the joy already.
Yeah, sparking joy?
Yeah, sparking something.
Well, today we're going to be talking about Marie Kondo. And you may have heard about her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Or if you're like most of us, you've seen her decluttering show on Netflix. Do your possessions spark joy? We're also going to catch up with wild food advocate Diego Bonetto, who's here to talk to us about the edible weeds in our front yards. Gia and Olive are making quinoa salsa salad, and the ladies are going to confess to some feelings of environmental guilt. You do not want to miss this show. But first, lately I've been watching Marie Kondo's Decluttering, Yes, I'm Guilty, her series on Netflix, and I love that she has a system for organizing houses, and this system has actually changed my life. So ladies, I wonder if you, hey, I don't like those looks. I'm actually like a fangirl now.
I'm like, that's a big call to have changed your life.
Yeah, I'm like,
Kids changed my life.
I'm like, respect Marie.
So how did she change your life?
I changed, I think in 3 days, I pretty much dismantled my bedroom and my son's bedroom and put everything back using the system that she advocates. So I don't know.
Throw plenty of stuff out.
I wouldn't say I threw it out. I definitely sent it to the op shops. I tried to repurpose a lot of boxes and things.
Ooh, I like that word, repurpose.
Am I the only one who did this? Did you ladies, have you
Look,
heard of Marie
I
Kondo?
watched a couple of episodes, but
Did it spark joy?
well, it inspired me, but I haven't done anything. So
Yeah, it inspired me too. I actually, to be honest, the first time I heard it was when we had to talk about it. And then apparently it's the craze and everybody's into this Marie Kondo, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, I thought the idea is that you take items that, or keep items that spark joy in you and get rid of the rest. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's this whole system. So first of all, it's that you go through everything at once. So you go through all the clothes at once. So wherever you have clothes throughout the house, you bring them to one spot. You go through them. If it doesn't spark joy.
Spark joy.
See, that's my problem. A lot of them spark joy.
Well,
so
then keep them.
Yeah, I just have too much stuff in the house. Like a lot of it sparks joy. I'm like, oh, that was fun. I remember that. Oh, yes, I'll use that one day, you know.
Yep.
It all sparks joy.
I don't have a lot of stuff, but what I have is probably not that tidy. So, if you came in and looked at my kitchen bench, there's nothing in my kitchen bench. But if you open the drawers, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of stuff, but it's like tucked
Well,
away.
no, it's
Out
not
of
a lot
sight, out of
stuff.
mind?
It's not a lot of stuff. It's just that what is there is not really organised.
Yep. I don't know. I think it's kind of, it fights against this idea. We talk a lot about minimalism on the show, but it's not minimalism. It's just like appreciating the things that you have. And even
Or is it replacing it with things that of value? Because it doesn't.
Well, that's the issue. If you're sort of moving things on, repurposing them, and you're replacing them, aren't you just sort of, it's cancelling itself out in a way? Isn't that the whole point, not to necessarily replace everything that you've sort of repurposed?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not Marie Kondo.
But she's changed your life.
She has. I actually have photos of like all my drawers that I've redone. And I think it's just because it's a system. Like it's something I can follow. Like I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to put all the time and energy into it. But
Except for 3 days.
But I mean, now going forward, I haven't had to spend that time again.
You make that time up.
Yeah. But I think one thing that's interesting is they're saying op shops are having like too much stuff now because people are decluttering to the max. Are we maybe throwing too many things away? Are we going, do we just
But
keep letting
if it's in your house unused or at the op shop unused, what's the difference?
Exactly. It's
from
still
that
in the
point of view.
environment. One
Yeah.
day it's still going to go into the ground. It's still here. I just wonder if it's a phase and then people are going to start getting stuff again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my question, because I've looked at her and I'm like, I feel like she's very obsessive. I think her systems look great. I love that she thanks and the service of all her stuff before she passes it on. But I wonder if it's just a phase people are going to go
I think for me, it's not a phase, it's a life change because there's a system. And I think she's not saying you can't get more stuff. What she's saying is that appreciate the things you have to the point. I think she might take it a bit extreme in that she thanks the items.
Yeah.
So as you're getting rid of something, she says thank you. But I think it's just about gratitude.
That's what I think it's about. Like, I don't think I'd physically go through and say thank you for I could wear you to this person's wedding, sort of thing. I love that she was grateful for it and it had meaning and purpose. I really appreciated that part.
So if she said she'd come to your house and help you clean and organize, would you turn her down?
No, you never turn something free down like that, do you?
Okay, show organizers, make sure that we come to Rachel's house. And
So I'll be cleaning this weekend.
yeah, maybe so. So what do you think? Do you think that decluttering is a good thing, or have we taken the Marie Kondo movement a bit too far? We would love to hear your thoughts, so share them with us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So, we're all interested in living well, but does that actually mean healthiness, or what does it mean exactly? Recently, it seems like there's no end to the list of things that you need to live well. from the fitness devices that count your steps to daily smoothies with hemp seeds or chia seeds, some of us. And according to actress Gwyneth Paltrow, we should even be steaming our vaginas. Where do you draw the line? I think we've already answered that question.
It's been drawn.
What do you ladies think? Where do you draw the line with wellness?
It's a lifestyle. Like, I think I've changed a lot of the things in what I eat mostly. So that's sort of a permanent change.
So where did you come up with those ideas for what you should and shouldn't be eating? Was it from a website like Gwyneth Paltrow's or something scientific or?
No, I think, well, it could be the website, like it could be the internet, it could be anything that you read, because more and more, I guess, literature is saying that plant-based is the way to go, and that's sort of the approach I've taken. Okay, don't buy as many packaged food, buy more plant food, and that's something I've just sort of been working towards and getting closer to. Yeah. But I have read a lot of the wellness stuff, and it's so easy to get on the bandwagon and go, oh, if that's working for them, maybe it'll work for me.
Yep. Kind of like the Marie Kondo phase. Like there's so many different things that come along. And
I think like most movements, there's probably good and bad. I love the idea of complete health, when not just physical health, but spiritual health and mental health. And I like that we're looking at that. But like most movements, you know, if it becomes a way for people just to make money off people that are already probably quite healthy anyway, I'm thinking, is that too far?
It's a gimmick. It's just a gimmick now. Yeah. But I think I personally just take it back to the basics, where we're eating less, moving more, and as a Christian, praying without ceasing. And I think, like you said, with the spiritual, mental, physical, it's so important. We are quick to be all about our physical appearance and everything, but what's going on the inside? I think something our society is just realising or coming to the surface is the mental health. That seems to be something that's a stigma. But being someone who is affected by it personally, within my own family, I know it's something that has made me change my way as to my approach in wellness and holistically looking at what am I doing in my life to make it better and to avoid having mental issues or physical issues down the track. So I think if it relates to you personally, that's when you take it more serious. And I like the rest is hype.
Yeah, I like what you said about taking it back to basics. You know, I think about how my grandparents lived. You know, they grew things, they didn't go to the shop and buy prepackaged food, everything was simple. And I think that's probably what wellness is saying, take it back to there. I mean, I go to the gym, I do admit that, but I look at the gym, myself at the gym sometimes, and people at the gym and think, my grandparents would think this was so stupid.
Why they were out farming?
They didn't need to. Why would you go to a building and stand on a treadmill and walk on the same spot for 20 minutes? You know, it's crazy really when you think about it.
Well, another area in wellness that we see a lot is detoxing. Have you ladies ever done any kind of detox diets?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah? What kind of detox diet have you done before?
Oh, I've done a couple, and I can't say that I enjoyed them at all. I felt awful on them, to be honest, and apparently that's because all the toxins were coming out of my system. But I didn't feel good. I was always concentrating, like my mind was like, what am I allowed, what am I not allowed?
Did you have to buy it, or was it a system that you had to buy? Or
no, well, on one of them I had to buy stuff, and one of them it was just sort of a lot of, you know, you do a bit of a fast and juice and that sort of thing. But I'm like, I am not feeling good. Why am I putting so much energy and so much stress into this?
So what motivated you to do it in the first place?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think because it happened when my kids were young and I just wasn't feeling good. I'm like, I've got no energy because I was tired. But I thought, oh, maybe that will help sort of pick me up and I'll be able to handle this whole mother thing. So that's what motivated me.
But I often wonder, like, if these things are scientific, because our liver and our kidneys are the organs in our body that are supposed to be detoxing us. And I wonder if people are just making money off of our desire to be healthy and well.
Well, we're also putting a lot of stuff in there. They probably do need a detox at some point because we're putting so much junk into it. We're not eating a plant-based diet.
But if we just ate healthy, would we need to detox? You know, if our diet was mostly healthy.
But that's
I
it.
think
People
it's even our
aren't giving that up.
The chemicals we use, the society we live in, it's a total different environment.
The air we breathe in.
The air we breathe in.
Yeah.
So I think it's different now than it was back in those days, just to go.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing that people are looking for wellness. It's just unfortunate that there's just so many places to look in. It's confusing.
And it's hard to know who the experts are out there.
It's a huge industry and it's growing. Like it's a $4 trillion industry globally. So it's making its way through us, isn't it?
But one of the good things, I guess, is that some people just use medicine. They think pharmaceuticals are the answer. So I guess it's giving this balance to, there are lifestyle issues that can help us make a difference.
It is giving us balance because, and I've talked to some doctors who say, why is everyone going down this wellness track? And I've said, well, sometimes the Western medicine method isn't working. They're looking elsewhere.
Well, thanks to our resident psychologist, Colette Smart, we have some tips that are guaranteed to add to your well-being, and they're completely free. So over to you.
Today we're talking about rituals and traditions, and Colette joins us. Hello.
Hello.
So rituals and traditions for our family, they can kind of come about in lots of different ways, but why are they so important to us?
I think rituals and traditions are important because they say, this is us. We matter. And for children, it gives them an anchor or a safe haven. It's, even in times when things are tumultuous or difficult, if we come back to times of tradition, it just gives them a sense of security. And really, for even some teens, they might roll their eyes. Many teenagers I've spoken to, they might roll their eyes at mum or dad, but they actually love it. They love that sense of something bigger than themselves is happening. So, yeah, they're really important.
They quietly connect on the inside. And I think it gives a sense of family identity too when you've got those sort of markers. So for you and your family, what have some of yours been?
So I'm a big believer in family dinners, which we've spoken about. So we try and do 3 at least a week.
That's the dream.
We've mentioned this on the show before, but we try and do that. Reading times with your children, particularly when they're little. My husband still climbs up onto my 10-year-old's bunk bed every night, and they read together religiously every single evening.
Wow.
Christmases, we were the waifs and strays when we first came. So, now we have waifs and strays and extended family at Christmas. A holiday that actually just accidentally, we loved it. And now 6 years later, that's become a tradition and we go with the same family. All the kids hang out for the December holiday. Cool. It's wonderful. And then one of my favourite ones is our birthday tradition. Our kids all pile into our bed in the morning when they wake up, and whoever's birthday it is, we all open presents together on our bed. Recently, my daughter's 16th birthday, I thought, I'll try and do something my friend does, and which is their tradition. And they have a sit-down breakfast and set the table. And so I did all that. I made a beautiful table, balloons and everything. She loved it. She absolutely loved the table. Yeah. But took a photo of it, took all the presents and said, no, let's go sit in the bed. And I kind of went, I loved it. I thought, that's actually, it spoke to me again about don't deviate. For her and my children, that was tradition. That's what we do. And so we open presents on the bed.
Yeah, so you thought you were doing like the perfect Pinterest party. And she's like, no, Mum, I want our tradition. But Colette, thank you.
Thanks for having me again.
And some great ideas there. You can find more tips and tricks. Make sure you follow us on our socials and make your own traditions.
If you appreciated those tips from Colette and you're based in Sydney, you should definitely come to our live Mums at the Table event on March 19. It's a parenting workshop about raising resilient children, and Colette will be the speaker. Tickets are limited though, so you should make sure to get in and book. The details are there on your screen, and they're on our website as well, mumsathetable.com. You know, for most of us moms, and definitely this is me, weeds in the garden are just pests that need pulling up. They get in the way of growing proper plants. But today's guest, wild food advocate Diego Bonetto, feels differently. And he's joining us to tell us which common weeds in our front yards and on our sidewalks are actually good to eat. Diego, thanks for coming in and joining us here today.
Thank you for having me, Rachel.
I'm very excited because as I was pulling out of my driveway today, I could see all of the weeds. And I thought, okay, when I come back and see these weeds again, I'm going to look at them differently. So,
okay.
All right,
Many of them may still be weeds when you go back.
Okay. So don't eat everything that I see.
No.
Okay. Well, I just want to know, living in a modern society where we can easily go to the grocery store, why would we go outside and pick weeds and find them for food?
I think it's more of a case of just becoming aware of whatever is available, becoming aware of our ecology, of our surroundings, and all of the plants living around us. And like many people who come to my workshop and learn about what I have to say, which is old knowledge, by the way, and they just become better gardeners.
Okay.
They just realize that, you know, whatever they've seen as useless space, all of a sudden is a big display of food.
So do you have to be a gardener to be interested in foraging weeds, or is this for everybody?
It's for everybody, absolutely. What you will need to do is have some sort of empathy and some sort of understanding how to recognize plants.
Exactly, like we can't just go and pick anything. We need to know.
No,
Right.
you wouldn't.
I love this idea. You're saying we need to have empathy. Like, why are you saying we need to have empathy for plants, not just seeing them as pests and starting
Because seeing as a pest is not going to stop them.
Okay. This is very...
But by seeing them with some use and some possibility, all of a sudden you have a new friend.
Yeah. I'm leaning into this. I'm getting kind of excited. So I know you've said dandelions are one of the oldest and most beneficial.
Absolutely. Dandelions
we
is
have.
one of the most respected medicinal plants in the world, both Eastern and Western medicine.
Well, what does it help with?
Dandelion is much respected as a detox plant.
Right down your alley,
So we do
And,
need to detox as humans.
You do?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's dandelions is much used. You can still buy dandelions coffee at the supermarket these days, which is much appreciated. It's bitter and it helps to just cleanse the liver and the kidney. So, yeah, so that's old knowledge that
Just
can
remember, I
be...
have a dandelion tea at home. I'd
There you
never
have
thought
it.
about that before.
Yeah, you have dandelion tea. You also
Yeah.
have dandelions outside of your doorstep.
Could I make them into tea?
You can, you just need to harvest them.
Okay. So
Harvest.
by harvest, you mean pick? Like we
Yeah,
just need to
pick
go
them up,
outside and.
pulling them out, pull out
Nothing
by the
special
roots.
to do?
No, not really. You just need to pull them up. You need to harvest the roots of the dandelions for what they call coffee, and dandelion coffee. And you harvest the roots and you clean it, and then you just put it under the grill for 40 minutes. Domestic grills, domestic ovens usually go down to 80 degrees usually. So you just slowly roast the roots on a grill. Keep an eye on it. If it burns, it's going to taste like burnt coffee. and that's it. You just lightly roast for 20 to 40 minutes, depends how good is you're having, and that's it. Then you put in a airtight containers. That would be it.
You know, Diego, even in the few minutes you've been here, you've already got me a little bit excited about weeds that I've
Yeah.
never felt before. So how did you start this passion for
I
foraging?
started when I was a young boy. I grew up in a farm.
And you're
I
from.
I grew up in Italy.
Italy,
Yeah, I have
yeah.
an accent and didn't grow up in Australia. So I grew up in Italy in a dairy farm, and that's what I used to do. When we were kids, we were going out and collect dandelions, actually.
So
Dandelions
did your
is
parents
one of-
send you out to collect them? Or?
Absolutely. As a job, me and sisters, off you go and get the dandelions in springtime. And that's how I learned.
How did they teach you? I mean, did you ever, pick the wrong thing, or did your parents go out and teach
Absolutely.
you?
We came back with bags full of all sorts of things. Not this, not this, not this. This is what you want. But
Okay.
eventually you get the hang of it.
And that's what you teach at your workshops, what to look for when you're
Absolutely.
foraging?
Yeah,
And what is edible,
yeah,
what is medicinal?
Yeah, probably one of the most important things you teach in the workshop is to relax. It's just
To relax.
Relax. There's nothing out there that's gonna kill you. There's nothing out
Nothing?
there.
Is that true?
It's more likely you're gonna die if you cross the road. Watching the traffic light. Yeah. But
Because you pick near train lines as well. Because I know you did some work out in Mywood in Casula Powerhouse out in southwest Sydney.
Yeah.
But I know that you did some wild
food workshops over there. Yeah, on the abandoned golf course,
Yeah.
Casula Park.
With the train lines and
absolutely, which is an
So
amazing
there's stuff
place.
everywhere.
There's stuff everywhere.
There's stuffs everywhere. Yeah.
Is there different types of weeds in different places of Sydney or
Yes.
in your backyard?
And you'll be surprised how much similarities there are.
Right.
The usual suspects are pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
And yes, certain spaces for certain things at certain times of the year.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you've got some stuff here. Can we have a look at it?
Absolutely.
Maybe not try it, but have a look at it. I'm scared.
You can look at it, absolutely. So I brought in a couple of things. One, this is Warrego greens. This is a native spinach. This is commonly seen at the beach and all over the places.
Okay.
And this was brought in by one of your staff because she wanted to know about it. So this grows all over the beaches.
So you can
Would you
cook
put that
this
in
just like
salad?
spinach?
Yeah, in salad, it's usually cooked.
Boil it.
Yeah, it's usually cooked just as a spinach.
So you could just replace it with spinach.
You can replace spinach with
With it,
that,
with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's been doing, yeah. This is another very interesting one. This is also native. So wild food, what I teach is just become aware of all of the food possibilities all around. And this is a common trees in our streets. It's ripeberry, it's related to lily pillies. Tastes quite sour and...
So nothing's going to happen to me if I...
No, absolutely. I can eat plenty.
Go, Rach.
You go first.
I go first. I need plenty of this. This is the last of the season.
Right.
Try it. It's sour with a cloying aftertaste.
Definitely tastes like nature.
So can you eat lily pillies? You mentioned them before.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
They're absolutely everywhere.
okay.
We used to love lily pillies. In Australia, we used to make lily pilly jam, lily pilly
wow.
jellies.
I feel so uncultured.
There's a connection to the culture, isn't there, with foraging?
There is a
Are we
connection.
losing that culture? Are we losing being in touch with our environment?
One thing that which is quite surprising is that all of this 3 generations ago was common knowledge.
Right.
So our grandmothers would not need me, funny guy with funny accent, to tell her what the dandelion looks like. Yeah, and all our grandmothers would have known it. Yeah, wherever you're from, wherever cultures you're from, 3 generations ago was common knowledge.
So what has changed?
Have changed that 2 generations ago it became unpopular. Supermarket cultures, industrial agriculture, it was became uncool to pick things from the wild.
Right.
It became a sign of poverty to pick things in the wild.
So what's changing now that there's this resurgence and interest in it?
Now we're just finding out that whatever we chucked away, we want it back. Now we're doing workshop to learn how to pickle.
Oh.
Now we're doing workshop to learn how to bake bread. Now we do workshop to learn
Stuff they did back in the generations
how to
of our
garden. 3 generations ago, you didn't need to do a workshop how to garden. Everyone had a garden. So it's
So who's
just
coming to your classes?
who comes to my
Yeah.
classes. There's quite a range of people. There's a lot of young families. Young families come a lot because there's a lot of people that become aware whenever they have kids that we need to just rethink the way we engage with environment resources and our ecologies.
And even having a sustainable environment, living off our land.
This
Living
is
off
actually
the land,
a really fascinating conversation, but and we're going to come back and continue to talk to
Sure.
it. But first, I want to see if we can join Gia in her kitchen. I don't think there are any weeds there, but she does have a delicious, healthy recipe that she's making for us. It's quinoa salsa salad. Check it out.
So today we are going to make a quinoa salad, quinoa salsa salad, and this salad is actually for the grown-ups because I feel like as a mum, I feel like I'm running around all day and I just don't get time to eat. So it calls for quinoa, so cooked quinoa. And now you can buy quinoa, which I love, in packets already cooked. And it comes with brown rice sometimes, with other grains, which I think is awesome. Red kidney beans. So you're getting heaps of protein and fibre. Yum, coriander. Now this is a must in this salsa salad. So chopped cherry tomatoes. And I've actually just used a mini food processor for the rest of the ingredients. This has got onions, red onion, it's got red capsicum, and it's got olives in it. So they cook with a lot of olives in their food. Now what I've used is a small food processor, and if you don't have one, buy one. I brought one from Greece, like the little whizzy ones. And I've also got this one, which is a handheld one where you could throw all your stuff in and you could just... This will save you so much time in the kitchen, a mini food processor. And I just put all that stuff in there. I put the onion, the red capsicum, and the olives inside that food processor, and I just processed until it was really fine. I'll put this in, and now Moses is going to help me with putting the lemon. I'm going to mix it through first, and then we'll put some of the lemon juice, but not all of it, okay?
Why?
Okay. Well, we don't want to put all of it in there because it might be too strong. So can you put a little bit of the lemon in? And lime, so fresh lime juice or lemon juice, whatever you've got. Oh, thank you. Oh, delicious. Let me mix it through. And you could just put this in little containers so that you've got it ready for the week. Or you could just make it for the family. And if your kids are brave enough, they could try it. Will you be brave enough to try it? Told you it was for the grown-ups. If you want more recipes, please go to our website, mumsathethetable.com, and you could also find us on Facebook and Instagram too, actually, so you can find some of our recipes there too. See you next time. Say bye. Bye.
If you're after recipes that are both simple and healthy for your family, and you want a free cookbook, we're offering you today, and it's called Everyday Essentials by Sanitarium. We're offering it to you absolutely free. All you need to do is send in your name, address, and everyday essentials to hello@mumsathethetable.com. Well, we've been talking about sustainability and wellness, but now I want to look at the other side of the coin. We all feel it, and it's called environmental guilt. Diego, I'm wondering if you can talk to us a little bit about this topic, because I've seen you talk before about why people are kind of getting interested in this idea of foraging, and one of the reasons could be this idea of environmental guilt.
Absolutely.
Is this good or bad for us to be feeling that?
Yeah, I think it's somewhat good because it's just pushing us to make choices and to change our lifestyle. So it's just a follow-on on what we were saying before, the old skills of our grandmothers that now we want back. Now we want to learn to garden. We want to learn how to preserve the jams and preserve the fruit and learn the old ways. Get back the old ways of being a bit more aware, sustainable, and healthy. You know, because with that comes also a healthier lifestyle. And somewhat there's various reasons why is this new urge to learn these old skills coming back, and one of them is environmental guilt, the things that we feel sorry for what we see the TV, we see the news. Recently there was this news of the die-off of the fish and the marlin darling. I don't know if you've seen it. You know, it's appalling to see what's happening over there. And for most people, it's just, what can I do? So, and simple step is,
So this is something that we can do. It's kind of accessible.
Simple steps.
Because it feels so big. The problem feels so big.
It feels big, and you feel like immobilized. You know, what can I do? You know, there's no way out. But there's plenty of way out. You know, as a society, we're changing. I mean, at a pace that we don't even realize. You know, from simple things like the 2 flush toilets. 10 years ago, no one had. 20 years ago, no one had them. Or the light bulb. We changed the light bulbs. 10 years ago, no one did it.
Or the recycling rubbish bins. We all do that and we don't even think about that.
Don't even think about that anymore.
I can see a change in my girls. My girls are in their 20s and they sometimes give me environmental guilt. Mum, you should be doing this. Mum, you should be doing that.
Absolutely.
And things I haven't even thought of. And I think those of you with younger kids,
definitely
better.
Like with the younger kids, like you were saying with your daughters, they're definitely being more culturally aware, more environmentally aware, whereas I know the generation I grew up was from the 1980s, 1990s. We're wasteful.
But it was about convenience. Like, and I'm not justifying it, but there was a time where everything got so busy, we busied ourselves so much that all of this packaging came through. It was all for convenience and giving you more time. But we've sort of come and said, hey, hang on, that was good then, but it's not working. We've got to change.
It's like this pendulum.
Climate change.
Yeah.
You can see the effects on the environment. Climate change. There's food shortages everywhere. So we definitely need to start getting.
Well, Marie Kondo, we've got too much stuff.
Too much stuff.
It's just,
Well, you know, I have loved spending this time with you. You have totally changed my perspective on weeds and how to look at them. So I'm going to go back in my driveway and look at those weeds a little bit differently today. Ladies, as always, it's a pleasure. I want to thank you for being here with us today and for all of your insights. If you've loved what you've heard today, please join us again. I would love to give a shout out to Pauline from Pauline Isle Design, who gifted us with all these amazing flowers. And we will see you next time. Looking forward to it.